I'm Margaret Taylor. I live in Habani, about 15 kilometres out of Gaborone, where I've been for the last 42 out of more years in Botswana. I've known the sisters since 1975 and am an associate of CSMV. I suppose the number one social issue is the enormous AIDS epidemic, HIV and AIDS epidemic, which was at its height in the 90s. In terms of not until the late 90s, there were no ARVs available.
ARVs?
Antiretroviral treatment. And large numbers of people died, particularly young people, young parents. So there was, at that time, a very large number of orphans living with grandparents or aunts or something like that. That is better than it was, but there are still young people dying, and there are still orphans. There are also many vulnerable children, or children who only have one parent and maybe one sick parent. Here in the Gaborone area, there are 2 daycare centres for orphans and vulnerable children, and there is an Anglican church-run hospice, many of whose patients over the last 20 years have been people with AIDS-related conditions. The need for daycare for children is enormous because there are large numbers of children from single-parent families, and quite often that single parent is not well. One of the 2 daycare centres still operates on people who are technically volunteers because they haven't yet got consistent and strong enough funding to pay their teachers and helpers salaries. The CSMV money allows each of them to have a small extra monthly amount on their allowance, which has given them a big boost. Even though it's not a lot of money, it's the knowledge that somebody cares and somebody wants to help. The other daycare centre is a larger one. They have 85 children there all day. They probably have a new intake every year of little ones, and the last year's little ones go up into a higher class. So we're talking about children who are 3, 4, and then the next lot of 4, 5. And it was very striking visiting there this morning that the little ones, the term only started 3 weeks ago, the little ones are still feeling their way, and you can see easily that looks like a very malnourished child, or this one is somewhat handicapped. But the teachers say that being in this group is enabling him to run and walk and so on with more enthusiasm. And the malnourished ones will not be recognisable in a few weeks.